Today we're gonna be reviewing the Lenovo Thinkpad X240. It is a pretty nice machine and it's pretty long battery power and a lot thinner compared to before version with the X220 and X230. Is compared to X220 and X230 is quite a bit thicker in X230, so I don't really recommend you to have X230 anyway. What's more improving is the click button in the mouse trackpad is a lot larger than before. X220 have a smaller, and there was some problem with the X220 have a clicking mouse pad have a left and right clicking pretty much confused and doesn't work really well. And this one still like copying to the Apple, but it's a lot much improved, and that's the mouse trackpad. So and the battery, when you're charging, you could see there are two battery inside. The two battery is it is number one, and number two is charging the when the one battery is full 100%, then the second battery is continue to charge normally. So until the both battery is full 100%, and both the battery is there at the back. One is removable and just can slide and remove, and another one is a built-in battery inside, and built-in battery is pretty much similar to the Apple. When you just open the case underneath, and then you can plug the internal battery as well. So it's pretty simple and easy, and just compared to before old version of the Thinkpad, there are a lot lesser in the screw, and just unscrew the sum of them, and but still yet about the 4 screw that you stay built in the case, and you can't take it off. So just pull off the outside cover, and it still can open the internal part. So the battery pretty much long, and is right now is 80%, and also when you charging the battery in it is quite faster than old machine before. And but one thing you have a problem on this X240 is when you try to install the system update and from the Lenovo server, then you could get some error message, and you still can't keep on downloading anymore the software from the server. So there's a error that you might be seeing. There are no applicable package form for your system. That's an error. And so at this moment, until now, you still have to download all the software for directly from the Lenovo website. So that's the only solution at this moment, and it normally came with the Windows 8.1 version, but still they're pretty good, running well with the Windows 7 version. Is a touch screen. So when you look at the inside the machine, there you could see it. For CPU have a i7 and i3 and i5. So you need to choose, and when you look at the rating, and you can see about the 4.8, even with the 4 GB RAMs and the i3 CPU. So it's pretty not bad, good rating. And so I hope that you could upgrade the RAMs up to 16 GB. So sometimes like about the double of the size. No matter whatever the manufacturer say that you could install the like sometimes Lenovo say that in the T500 you could install the 4 GB, but you still could be able to install the 8 GB as well. So this also it could take it's pretty much a faster when you use the solid state drive, but thinner version is better if you use it before all disk drive, and then it's yeah, you could stay use the old thicker version for the hard drive, but I recommend that you just use a thinner one. So removing the hard drive also easy as well, but you need to open the cover case as well. So the disadvantage on the machine is at this moment there's when you talk the speaker and you couldn't hear well with this machine. So that's only the issue that they need to improve. When you do the online chatting with software, with a Viber or whatever, with Skype. So it does have a built-in microphone. It is around somewhere. It is so the built-in microphone is not pretty so good. But compared to the full version of this is the X220, and you could see that's a lot thicker compared to before, and also the outside cover is pretty smooth now, and compared to before. And why I attach this cable is because it's quite slippery, and it's got fall down. So just attach with the cable. So the battery import is pretty much quite changed. Before came with the wrong one. This is this shape. So outside this is outside look USB port, and this side have a USB port as well. So altogether 2 USB port, and this only one hole for earport jet. So all right. So the good thing is when you use the internet, so or whatever, is pretty much easier when you can do the touch screen function, and it is pretty sensitive, and it's a pretty good touch screen as well. So if you want to use like Android application, so just use a BlueStack software, and it's pretty much good to go with the touchscreen. And the other thing is like if you want to try with the GPS connection, you may try to use if there are any the internal cut. So if you open the case, and you might see the two cut slots, it might be empty originally on some of the machine. So it really depends. And also, if you look at the keyboard here, is pretty nice, sensitive, and it's a pretty good keyboard when you press it. And also the keyboard background light is you could change with the if you see that logo here for the LED light, and then you can press the function key and space bar at the same time, then you could turn on the keyboard light at the night time, so or in the plane, so it could be useful. And this the rest thing is when you off the microphone, this light is on, then light is off again. So without pressing the function key, you could change the light, and just press like that, so you don't have to press the function key at the same time. So this is a volume control as well. So here's a battery setting, and doesn't take too long to charge. So right now I'm gonna show you when I unplug. So 45 watt AC adapter. So it is a 3-cell battery. I hope but you could change the external battery is bigger capacity, and it's pretty quite long for the battery running. Well, I'll show the unplugging, and you could see how long does it last. So 84% is roughly about over 4 hours, 4.5 hours roughly. So 84%. So when it reaches 100%, you could expect between like over 5 to 6 hours when in a new battery. So that's pretty good advantage with touchscreen function. So when you start the machine, I'll show you the machine restarting. Then when you start the machine or start to boot the machine, you could see the speed. You could see the speed of the machine. Now start the booting. Alright, so that's a pretty fast, compared to with old machine with the when you upgrade the RAMs and up to 8 GB or 16 GB, it must be a lot faster as well, and it's could handle the many application as well. So it is also when you want the machine first, I recommend you to use the web root. Is much better to use a web root because that's web root security, where it's just only one that could be enough for secure your internet connection, and it's pretty light and fast as well. You could buy with not too much expensive over the eBay or something. So it's a pretty nice application, and also like with if you want to make the machine faster, just try to use this tune up. So the tune-up is good. Alright. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. So when you change the setting over the tune-ups, then it's gonna make the machine a lot faster when booting as well. So I recommend you the tune-up. So it's one of the good option that to use the tune-up. So okay, I'm gonna show you that compare with currently with X220. So this is a Lenovo X220, and why you should choose this one is because things have been a lot of the upgrade and change on the X240, and this is a lot thicker than this X240. This is X220, and but USB port is 2 USB port and USB 3 port 2.0 here, and this side have 1 USB port as well. So 3 USB port, 1 A-star and H220, and but for the battery you could use nice battery on the H220. But because of the manufacturer in X240 at this moment hasn't come out with the nice battery at this moment, you might get it's about 6 battery. So that's this X220 is I hope you could use not just a standard battery, also it might use a sliding battery as well. It's just slide on it. So it's this X220 also running pretty long battery life, and one thing I have to say is okay, you okay, so alright, okay, so one thing, so X220 there is a weakness in the mouse pad, and here you can see the left and right click is hidden in the internet, but when you click to the left side and right side is pretty much confusing, and some of the H220 is just mouse stick or a problem, so you still got to change this is a mouse pad, or like so you could buy that with a palm rest altogether set, or you still could change only one this as well. Sometimes got a problem, but sensitive here. So when you like to click the right click, you pretty much have to touch here and press have to click so that it might be working for the right click function. So otherwise when you click on this much, and sometimes pretty much doesn't want to work until here when you press, sometimes it stay working with the left click function than the right click. So what's different is the screen. When you look at the screen resolution, and you could just see, okay, this so this is video graphic is having used, so it's having upgrade for this Intel chipset video graphic on the X240, and same in the X220. You still could get it with the i3, i5, and i7 version. So, and this one currently being installed. It's 8 GB RAMs. You could still use 16 GB RAMs and one slot each with the 8 GB for the compatible RAMs. You should choose for that for the X220. So if you like to upgrade, so it doesn't really matter that what's the manufacturers say that what's the maximum RAM you could use. Actually, you still use the X220 with a 16 GB as well. So this X220 also the pretty much fast enough machine, and but it have only one battery, unless you have a slide battery and external battery. There's no internal battery for that. So it's also in the X220 is might take about 5 to 6 hours. It depends when you have a fully charged and a new battery. So I recommend you that change the battery about once a year. So that like as over years battery got weaker on the storage. So when we go back to the X240 here, so okay, yes, X220 here. The thing is like in the keyboard in the X220, when you went to press the screen, make it brighter, so you can press together with this one a function key, and for the nighttime for the LED is on the you stay cut have to press with the function key as well, but there's no backlit in the keyboard light for the nighttime. So like Apple, so that's the thing is different with the X240. There's a X240 have is a different version. Some can open the keyboard light. Some of the version you can't open the keyboard light. So just see the logo on this space bar. If you see the LED logo, then you stay could open the light. So both X220, X230, X240. So if you like to change the CPU, there's no possible because it's soldered and attached to the motherboard, and you couldn't be able to change the new CPU. So you have to decide that before you purchase the machine, and pre-confirm must be make sure that you are purchasing the right one, because later on it's not the CPU the swapping one, because it is when you remove the heatsink, you could see that it's been soldered on the motherboard. So you only can upgrade the RAM and its SSD drive but you couldn't really upgrade the CPU at all. So that's what's happened. But nevertheless, even you use i3 or i5, still pretty much fast, and the advantage is like you can use like a phone. It's pretty touching is pretty good and sensitive. That's the good thing. So this X240 I really recommend if you like to take to overseas, and it's lasts longer battery life, and so I really recommend if you take but for the cheaper price you could choose X220, but the issue is you might be having some issue with the mouse trackpad sensitivity issue. So but it still have this here top click as well. But if you get used to the click, the button is still might have a problem with that. So and also in the X220 same as well. And if you here is for the voice microphone, and it's have a Bluetooth as well. So the voice microphone is but it's still pretty weak. So what's the things I recommend Lenovo have to improve it? This is voice function is when sucking your voice is should be much better quality. They have to use it. So so they having for the graphic card they just use this with this entire graphic card, so it might be safe, lot safer battery life compared to the putting the another graphic card. So I hope that this must have been built in the graphics with the CPU, so it's having the safe energy a lot because it's having graphics is already built in a CPU. So that's pretty much a good advantage for the battery life saving. And why they make it CPU non-swappable? Because this is this X240, X240 is they make it thinner and lighter as well. This is pretty light, so both and X220 and this X240 a lot much lighter. So when they make it smaller and lighter, so so they need to spare some space. So that's why they just don't make it and just solder the CPU on the motherboard. So that's why they have to do it to spare the space. But compared to the some of the thinner Lenovo and with the Lenovo and some compared to some other laptop like then other brands, you might see a bit thinner than this H240. But things is like why they make it this H240 the thickness a bit thicker, because it's given pretty much enough space to be cooled down. So when you make it when you see the other Acer or whatever other machine, and when you see it, and if you touch it, the temperature at the down of the bottom of the machine, and then you will see that it's pretty much warm and hot enough compared to this Lenovo. So due to that, given the allowing the bigger space for this H240 case, so is make it quite cool machine. So compared to some of the old machine, and using the some metal before with the HP machine or something like. So this is yeah, so non-metallic. So some other laptop brands are quite hot on the temperature when you put it and so use it. So that's hot temperature is that's one of the issues. So but Lenovo make it bigger space, that's why. So don't worry about not very thin at this moment. But this LCD technology has been changed a lot compared to before. So it's quite a lot thinner. So quite a lot thinner. So quite a lot thinner before, but as well. So and when you get used to with the touch screen phone, so it might be a lot easier for you if you're having the X240 or X250, something like that. Because X220 is doesn't have a touch screen function, so so you should be, if you want a touch screen, you should be choosing the X240. So that's I recommend. So now when you open the tune-ups utility, so you could see it here, and AVG startup manager. Um, so you could off some of the auto starting software, so that it could make your machine a lot faster when you off those things. And also, and on the software, you just click disable all, or whatever you like to off it, and so then you can see that the left hand side the bar should go down, and it's making machine faster when a much more the wider space down there. So it's just what I recommend is you just use the web root as a security, and just tune up, so it will make the machine faster. So one of the things is advantage here. What I'm thinking about is if you're using the GPS, try to use a GPS in X240 with their. I also use try to use with the external GPS stick install software and the ND 100S. Yeah, that's a software for that's an external GPS as well. So unless you put the internet card, and so that's and if you then plug in a USB, and if you try to use for navigation and with the appropriate software, and so that's this Android software, the BlueStack, if you try to use it, so you may test it if you want. So when you try to rate about the condition of the X240, and it's with it's pretty good, pretty light, it's quite fast, and long battery life, and yeah, touchscreen is good, nice design compared to before. So doesn't matter with the display, as long as could save the batteries. Unless you play the games or something, they still could play games. Just really depends some game. So it's a 12.5-inch screen, the touch screen, IPS display. So well, it's stay pretty good, and even for second machine, or like your painting machine, and whatever you choose. So another thing is when you look at the screen resolution from a different angle, and not just straight, just keep on changing angle, and it still could see it's a pretty nice quality for the screen, like even with a different angle. So don't worry about the angle changing, and this pretty much can flip over down the way. So also okay, top of the camera. Okay, all right. So now is the audio quality. So and audio quality is when you are open then play music or something, then is pretty much weaker compared to the old machine, like before the T500 or W500. So they're pretty loud machine, compared to this X240. But if you compare with the X240, X220, it's 240 speaker is quite a lot louder than the 220, but like a microphone function is still weak enough, so couldn't hear well. So when unless you plug in with the external microphone and talk, but from the USB, but there's no input check for the microphone port, only the speaker port. So the good things in like in Lenovo is you know this X220 and X240 any other Thinkpad version machine as well. So is when you got 40 in the motherboard or something, when you want to change the spare part, just part is easy to swap people and make it working again. So pretty much when got a problem with your motherboard or doesn't boot well, so then you could just change the motherboard and it should be up and running again. So that's pretty much easy to remove the part and replace again. Is compared to old machine before this from X220 to X240, quite a lot easier. Less number of screw and easy to put it back in again. So what different HCD and the TCD is like? This HCD is like ultra thin and ultra light, so pretty much lightweight. It's for the portable machine. So also like it is 12.5 inch. Is like pretty handy and easy to carry around, and compared to the over 15 inches one. So with the TCD or some other CDs. So that's the loudest voice you could get, maximum audio volume. So then is unless original one make it too much loud, you couldn't get too much louder, because that's what I've been designing X240. So that's they have to improve the speaker function. So now when we go back to the X220, and the issue with the firmware version, that maybe both Lenovo have changed. So if you using the X220, and you should be using the firmware version that is 1.28 as and is from it's been made in 2012. What's different is if you use the latest firmware version to the update the BIOS, then what could get is your RAM speed is could get reduced. If you use that 1.28 version, then is maximum you could get 800 megahertz speed twice, because two slots inside. So but if you're using the latest the BIOS version, and you could get the maximum 600 megahertz twice. So it's pretty much having reduced if you use the latest BIOS version. So that's the issue in when you're upgrading the RAM. So if you want the faster speed of the RAM, so you have to choose the right firmware BIOS version, but not the latest one. So it's maybe stay applying this theory in the X240. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I haven't tested yet. But I already tested X220. That's if you're going to use the latest BIOS version, is speed going to be decrease to the 600. So but the things in the X240 is the RAM slot is only just one inside. So when you upgrade the RAMs, you have to be ready there. Bigger capacity RAM, because you can't put the 2 RAM inside the X240. So one thing is, if you have a problem in X220, if you use the hard drive thicker version, and it's quite tight inside, so it's you better use the thinner version for X220. But X240 is pretty much could take older hard drive, or the thinner hard drive as well. So not much big problem with X240, but X220 got a problem. Otherwise, you might be problem on the taker of the hard drive. The hard drive is sit on this side for the X220. So that's the way. Okay. So this is a PowerPoint for the X220, and you could see the light here even when it's charging. But so this is a button of the X220. So when I close it, this one, and this is the button. Okay. This is the front. So this red light is just no matter you plug in with the power or not, it's just it's blinking like that. So yeah, as long as it does have a power. So finally, I would like to say is if you are going to have it, whether X220 or X240, then I recommend you to have X240. And but even those price on the X220 could be cheaper, but because of the touch screen function is X240 is pretty much useful when you don't want to touch the mouse pad, and pretty handy to touch the screen. And the battery life is pretty long, and the charging is quite fast as well, and weight is quite less than the X220, and it's pretty smooth and nice looking as well. The hardware function having a lot of improved and upgrade, and mouse is bigger, and the speaker is louder, screen resolution a lot better than the X220. And but you could have to wait for some time if you like to. I'm not sure if you want to have it nice battery, whether they're gonna make it or not. I'm not sure yet, but 6 battery is pretty much stay could be enough. Even a 3 battery is stay okay. So because the slot at the back issue, so as that's really depends on the manufacturer. So and that's a pretty nice lightweight machine. So if you try to upgrade the CPU, and you don't try to upgrade, because you can't do that because it's soldered on a motherboard. So the hard drive and the RAM upgradable, so they're pretty nice machine, and keyboard is pretty good to press, and it is quite accurate. So and okay, all right, so that's it for now. If you like, please like and subscribe on my channel, and please let me know if you like to know anything. Thank you. Bye bye.